Welcome to Flexx FM Sports, to another Flexx FM Sport edition. Today's featured game, the final of the CASA 2023 Youth Classic Tournament. Started out with 6 teams, we're down to 2. And the 2 finalists today, we have Inter Miami U19 Select going up against Jamaica U19 Select. Here with my co-host, Coach Brown. Coach Brown, how are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. Looking forward to a good game.
Looking for a spectacular game. Both these teams has proved to us that they have a lot of talented players on the team.
We see that as they display their talent earlier in the week, and now it comes down to crunch time. One team will stand predominant. Of course, from right here in Fort Lauderdale into Miami.
Okay, it's a little windy out here today, as you can tell from the cameras bouncing, trying to stay steady.
Sometimes the ship has to be rocked.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day for some beautiful football, and we're here at the beautiful Lauderdale Sports Complex.
One and only.
Right here in Lauderdale, Florida, and that's South Florida.
Teams are marching out as the sun sets. The team approaches the center circle. Finals should be good. There's quality players on board right now that we see coming out from both teams. Yes, we got a Nigel is acknowledging new president for CASA.
Yes, Mr. Cleveland Brown.
Yeah. And a tremendous job that he has done in such a short time.
And that is Mr. Brown leading the constituencies, followed by the former president, Mr. Richard Campbell. You have Hazel Rogers also, our mayor of Lauderdale Lakes.
State representative.
Oh, she's now state representative. Moving up the ladder.
Is Romain Blake getting a good handshake?
Yeah, and of course, Inter Miami is in their full white, and Jamaica, of course, in their traditional gold and black.
With some beautiful green sock.
And now they're going to be playing the national anthem, both for the U.S. and for Jamaica. And there you have it. And they're going to, or they should have, a moment of silence for our great departed Pele.
A legend of football, the king of football.
Academic Solutions Academy, the office card. Of course, we say welcome to our media partners, been with us all during the tournament. Flexx, FM, Irie Times Vision Radio, providing the audio this evening. And Splendor Realty, some of our sponsors there, Coastal Wellness Center, Comprehensive Spa Center.
And they're actually doing a moment of silence right now.
We standing attention. Beautiful evening, Kerry. Beautiful. Welcome, Kerry. Welcome.
Yeah, thanks, Coach.
Just about kickoff time for the finals.
Anticipating a great battle. Two strongest teams we've seen in the tournament to date.
This is where it's at. It's the finals, and this is where you leave it all on the pitch.
And so we can go over Jamaica's starting lineup. Jamaica has only made one change to the team that started the game yesterday. Darnell Edwards, the KC player who was injured in the game, is going to be replaced by Tayshawn Mattis, the player that came on the left wing. So he'll be playing left back today.
Mattis is a player that can play just about anywhere on the pitch. I see him as one of the strong, fitting person for that replacement.
So we'll have Romain Blake and Xavier Davidson, the JC pair, at centre back again. Tayshawn Mattis, like we mentioned, will be coming in at left back. Jamani McDonald from St. George's College at right back. In goal will be Crucifixio Thompson. The midfield will be Theon Coop. He will play as the deepest defensive midfielder. Brian Burkett and Kevon Wilson will play ahead of him. And then on the wings we have Jaheim Johnson on the left from KC, Rakeem Grizzle from York Castle on the right, and Javier Lynch, JC player number 9 up front.
I was a bit concerned about Grizzle based on how he came out. But he starts out really good. He looks pretty good so far. So let's see what goes on with him. We'll keep an eye on him.
Inter Miami testing with a long ball. That's a good save by Thompson.
Shot on goal. Early start by the Miami team, Kerry.
Yeah, long ball. Long ball to the left and created an early chance.
They've been using it right throughout the tournament.
We'll see if they have more success at it than Plantation did in the second half yesterday.
Yeah. It's Crucifixture Thompson in the goal, starting for Jamaica. He did an awesome job last night. Let's see how he continues with that job that he did also well with last night.
And so you mentioned Grizzle and also Edwards, both picked up sort of knocks in the game. You know, Edwards didn't make it. You know, I saw them working on him feverishly in the ice baths yesterday at the hotel. Didn't make it, but Grizzle is in the starting lineup.
And that's good for Grizzle.
Oh, that's another dangerous cross and
beautiful save by Crucifixture.
Good save by Thompson, but the marking in the back of the cross, that was a free header really.
Allowing too much free plays inside the 18-yard box can be costly, especially on set pieces. Crucifixture knows where to be, right there to pick up that ball as it bounces.
Oh, giveaway by Blake. Combination, and that almost was the first goal. Another good save by Thompson.
This is the third, fourth save by Crucifixture immediately right off the bat. This is only a minute in the game. 3-4 saves in a minute.
Yeah, Jamaica in need of their custodian to keep them level in the first few minutes of the game. Oh, the referee says no foul there. So certainly I would have thought the second action by the Inter Miami player, I thought caught young Wilson, but referee says no foul.
Well, the referee is in charge of the game, and if he calls it a no foul, it's a no foul.
So this game looking a lot more like the Lauderhill Lions Jamaica game earlier in the week, where Lauderhill Lions really started the game very well and were all over Jamaica in the early goings. Similar here so far.
Let me see how well, because with Kevon Wilson in the frame of mind that he's in, Inter Miami seems like they're going to be in for a good one. A very good show right now.
Inter Miami in their typical patient pattern of playing it around the back, trying to pull the Jamaican players out of position before they can strike on the attack.
That's what they do very well.
And you can see, unlike the Plantation game yesterday, Jamaica not intent on engaging them that high up the pitch today, at least from the start.
It's gamesmanship. Gamesmanship are right on display in front of us right now, Kerry.
Yeah, it's interesting because we asked the question yesterday whether you thought the Jamaican coaching staff would be pressing high like they did against Plantation, and we said we had to wait and see. So as you can see so far, you know, they have not been pressing, you know, high, which I think is wise based on the quality of the Inter Miami players.
it's obvious that the coaching staff for Jamaica is going to absorb the early pressure. And by absorbing the early pressure, then they go for the counter like they did with Wilson just now. It's a goal kick for Jamaica.
So with the Inter Miami team, we can go over their starting lineup really quickly. Marcus Steinheiser starts in the goal. Mikhail Case and Kevin Gorbel are the two center backs. Gabriel Velez, left back, and Ty Barton is the right back. Joseph Converse and Ricardo Montenegro are the holders, as we see Inter Miami try to get attack going on the left-hand side. So the outside midfielders for Inter Miami are Sebastian Otero and Ian Nunez, and up front they have Felipe Valencia and Haro Alimandi. So sort of a 4-4-2-ish shape for Inter Miami.
At times it seems like they go only two in the back, Kerry, and sends on the attack the two fullbacks overlapping.
Yeah, definitely when they're in possession, you'll see how, you know, the center backs are kind of far apart so that the wing backs can push up the field in possession, and then we'll see them collapse when they lose possession. Very interesting contrast in styles of these two teams. Inter Miami is going to play a very patient game, sort of similar to how Plantation wanted to play yesterday. And Jamaica, as you said, maybe absorbing some of the early pressure and looking to hit the Inter Miami team on the counter-attack.
Jamaicans now seem to be getting their groove going right now. They seem to be settling in a bit. Kevon Wilson on the ball here for Jamaica. Number 10. Jamaica coming with the attack on the left side here, Curie. It looks good so far.
Yeah, so definitely Mattis will have to play a different role than he played yesterday. It won't be the all-action up and down role that he was playing when he came on at the left mid position. You know, he has to be a little bit more patient in terms of playing left back. But you can see that he's fairly high up the field now when Jamaica was in possession.
Something similar to what Inter Miami does, bringing up the fullbacks in the attack. It's a match game. It's a chess game, like I always say, and the best man will tell at the end. We have to be disciplined and we have to be patient. And that seems to be a throw into Miami.
It's Jaheim Johnson tracking back. Maybe owe Jaheim Johnson an apology, because I think we credited his goal yesterday to Burkett. It was Jaheim Johnson that scored that great goal into the far post.
I got a phone call from Jamaica that it's Johnson that scored that goal, and not Burkett. Burkett was the one that made the pass.
Right. Saw him at dinner last night and he said, it's me who scored that goal though. So yes, excellent goal, Jaheim Johnson.
And he's a Kingston College student, so the Kingston College folks were like, give us all credit.
Yeah, happily we didn't get any death threats or anything for making that error.
If we're gonna have number 7 playing that left fullback, he has to be aware of Inter Miami's number line and playing wide at all times.
Yeah, the 48 is the wingback, Ty Barton, but he does push up a lot in attack to support Ian Nunez, the right
Can
side
Jamaica
player.
capitalize on that open space that they leave in the back?
We'll see.
Ball on the play. Foul was committed by Burkett. Stopping that counter attack real quick.
So I think it's interesting, the player on the ball right now, the number 66, Joseph Converse. You know, the first game that they played against the Tobago team, he really dominated the game. Everything played through the number 66. So we'll see if it's that same pattern in this game today.
With the Tobago team, you could easily see that Inter Miami had full control of that game. Now it's different. It's something different for the Jamaican. And Jamaicans are not allowing him to have his own way inside that mid-pitch.
Right, more even matchup, so he's not going to have maybe as much time on the ball as he had against the Tobago select. Sure.
I think the coaching staff for Jamaica have done a tremendous piece of work by making that change in that formation, and it suits the youngsters very well.
Yeah, so they continue with the 4-3-3 today, and I think you know, based on the Jamaica coaches having watched Inter Miami's first game, I'm sure they'll be telling both young Wilson and Burkett that they need to put some pressure on 66 when he picks the ball up, so he's not dictating the game from deep in midfield.
That's a ball.
Jaheim Johnson was trying to cut back and get a similar shot off to what he did yesterday with that brilliant goal.
Throw in to Inter Miami. Probably should have went on in with that ball carry and unleash that shot that he has, like he did yesterday.
Yeah, I think that was the thinking. I think the other player to keep an eye on maybe is Felipe Valencia from Inter Miami, the number 35. Scored a couple goals in that first game. Looked very, very dangerous. So having watched the game, those are the two players that I thought were real danger players for the Inter Miami team. 66, Joseph Converse, and 35, Felipe Valencia, who's playing in the attack.
And like I said earlier, Kerry, they're not having their way right now. The Jamaica team has realized that these guys are people that would make them pay the high price. And so they assign themselves well to get these players under control early.
Yeah, you see Jamaica playing pretty much a mid-block. They're not engaging Inter Miami as they pass the ball around with their back four. You know, they're waiting for that next pass into midfield where they can maybe pressure the ball there. Don't think Jamaica wants to open themselves up by pressing too highly.
That mistake from Inter Miami, that turnover. But even though they got that turnover, they're not utilizing the ball properly when they get that turnover carry.
Right.
Inter Miami on the ball. 46.
46 is Mikael Case. Big lad. Big
I've
boy.
known that kid since he's a baby. And I'm happy to see him in the Inter Miami back line, marshalling the actions back there.
Another dangerous cross from the left. That seems to be a theme of the game so far. Ball played to the left and crosses coming in, and Jamaica having a bit of difficulty dealing with those crosses from the left-hand side.
Yeah, T. Yeah, T. Yeah.
Coastal when the center folks are here. They're on the wrong side. They should be on the other side.
T. Can you log into the laptop? Log in because I have something on the screen that can't come out.
Converse on the ball, a little bit of a misplaced pass to Keys. switches over to his other centre back, Kevin Gorbel.
Jamaican players seems to be very, very comfortable on the ball here.
Yeah, I think they just have to be careful when they're playing the ball in the back four. You see them almost losing the ball on a couple of occasions there.
That you see that thing on the screen here? You can't get it out. Yeah. Try to close it out. Yeah.
So Inter Miami, very patient. I don't think they're going to abandon their game plan of keeping possession. I think they want to keep to see if they can pull Jamaica out of position. But Jamaica is doing a good job so far of pressing the ball once it comes into midfield and pretty much giving up the Inter Miami defensive third and just allowing them to play the ball around the back.
Ball again played in. This is the ball that we talked about. End up in a corner kick.
Yeah, that went off Davidson last.
Corner kick to Inter Miami.
When you bring it down, like if you try to switch the camera, no, switch.
So far, so good, Kerry. We haven't gotten any goals scored. It's close, but still 0-0.
Yeah, cat and mouse game, I think. Tactical battle so far. Inter Miami trying to be patient in possession and trying to attack down the left-hand side mainly. And Jamaica waiting for the counter-attack, which they haven't done great on so far.
Easier picked up by Crucifix here. Thompson.
Poor clearance.
The Jamaican team is coming into their own career. I like what I'm seeing right now.
I just think, like you said before, though, I think they're giving up position a little bit too easily once they win that ball because they're looking for the counter-attack, but they have to keep the ball a little bit more. They kind of look a little bit like Plantation did against Jamaica yesterday, where when they try to counter-attack, they lose the ball after one or two passes.
Patience, patience, patience. You have to be patient with the ball.
Yeah.
Oh, I think Lynch is going to get onto this ball, but number 69 got back, and that's Ricardo Montenegro snuffing out the danger.
I said it before, Kerry. I said it, the number 46 for Inter Miami. He looked cool, calm, and composed against the other opponents. But I'm looking at him against the Jamaica team right now. Yeah. And I may have a few questions to ask.
Oh, that was a beautiful combination between Koopy and Wilson there. Trying to get that ball into the attack on the right-hand side, but misplaced the pass there.
It's a VMix error. So your desktop is currently shading with...
So Inter Miami starts from the back again. Rolls it pass over to the number 46.
I think Keys has probably touched the ball more than anybody on the field so far today, the number 46.
Oh, yeah.
Under no pressure, really, because Jamaica is not committing to press him.
Yes. And that's what I would love to see, a little bit of pressure from the Jamaican players. So we can see what he's like. He's very, very composed in the back.
We want to say good afternoon to Liebert Halleman, the great coach for Excelsior High School, who we see here in the stands. And also Vin Blaine is here.
Yes, Mr. Blaine is here. Carl Brown was here yesterday. Here comes the play that I want to see. But he's cool under pressure.
And you can hear the instructions from the sideline basically say don't go. So it's clear that the tactical plan from the Jamaican technical staff is not to really press Inter Miami high, but to play a sort of a middle block where they're pressuring the ball once it gets into midfield. So that's clearly tactical instruction from the Jamaican coaches. Oh, great fight there by Jaheim Johnson. To Burkett, to Davidson, and now to Blake. Blake is looking to play it long, looking for Lynch. Issue is when the balls get placed to Lynch, there's nobody really close to Lynch for him to flick the ball onto.
And that was Kevon Wilson that switched it up a bit, and Lynch dropped off for that one. The stands have pulled up a lot, Gary, since we first came here.
Yeah, I think anticipating a big battle for the trophy tonight. I think maybe before the game yesterday, Inter Miami would have been big favorites, but after we saw the Jamaican performance, I think maybe changed some minds.
Certainly, because the performance last night, and this is where I'm saying Inter Miami has the advantage, because they've been resting. And Jamaicans played last night.
Jaheim Johnson, very direct, trying to get the ball over to Wilson.
Almost an own goal.
Almost went off the defender last, so that'll be a corner.
Corner to Jamaica, that's their first corner.
First corner, I believe, yes. And you can tell because Inter Miami has had a few corners, so they've been pretty much in charge of the game to this point.
Let's see how Jamaica comes up, what they come up with on this corner kick.
Beat everyone.
That was whipped in by the left fullback for Jamaica.
Atis.
I whipped around inside the 18, but nobody was there to put it in. Inter Miami goes on the attack again.
So you can see very clearly the Jamaica plan. You saw that ball go into the player in midfield and immediate pressure by the Jamaican players. So that's the plan. So let's see how it works as the game goes along. Blake plays to Lynch. A lovely first touch to the player on the right hand side. Oh, is that a foul? The referee's not going to give that. He was pulling his shirt, I believe. And Johnson is pleading with the referee for a penalty.
And the entire stand is pleading to the referee.
And so the referee is going to have a discussion with his assistant here.
Yeah.
Was that player pulled back? Was Jaheim Johnson pulled back by the Inter Miami forward? He was. And I think that's good communication between the referee and his assistant. Because to me there was a tug there. It was just a question of whether the referee thought it was enough contact to bring Jaheim Johnson down, and the assistant says yes, it was.
Well, let's see who steps up and take this one. We had one last night or the night before.
On Thursday.
And
I think you'll see the captain step up and take here, Blake. I would have said, yes, I would have said either Blake or Saka would be the key candidates,
Wilson, yes,
and maybe also Lynch. But the responsibility falls on Jamaica's under 20 player, Romain Blake.
Yeah, you know he played under 20 at 16 years and some months.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very talented and played all 4 games, 3-4 games for Jamaica.
Yeah, a mainstay in the under-20 team. Can Romain Blake put Jamaica ahead in the final? He can.
Yes, and he has.
Excellent finish by Romain Blake. No doubt about it. Going to the keeper's right.
1-0 to Jamaica. With 16 minutes left on the clock. Jamaica have taken this lead that I think a lot of naysayers earlier would say would not happen.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting because one of the few attacks that Jamaica counter-attacked well, got the ball, nice combination, inside, outside, and then the cross came from the right-hand side, put the defender in a very tough position, and there was contact there. The referee and his assistant decided there was enough contact for a foul, and so a penalty to Jamaica, converted by Blake. Jamaica 1, Inter Miami 0.
And that's what we talked about earlier, Kerry. We want to see what's going to happen when the back line of Inter Miami comes under pressure. How well they handle that pressure. And it's quite obvious that if the Jamaican team keeps on to press them, they're going to get results.
Yeah, and interestingly, we want to see how Inter Miami reacts to falling a goal down, because in the first few minutes of the game, the first half of the first half, they've really been very patient passing the ball around their back four with no pressure from the Jamaicans. So for sure the Jamaicans won't be pressuring them now up 1-0. So we'll see if Inter Miami continues to play the ball around the back or whether they play a little bit more direct.
And this is the Jamaican team one more time.
And again Jaheim Johnson's in the box. So Jaheim Johnson's playing as the left-sided midfielder coach, and you see him when the ball goes on the right-hand side, crashing the box and becoming an extra forward. Good play.
And that's a good tactical move by the coaching staff again.
So you'll notice the score online still shows as 0-0, but you can trust us that it's 1-0. There's some technical difficulties on our end. But the score right now is 1-0 to Jamaica. Penalty converted by Romain Blake. Captain Romain Blake from Jamaica College.
JC is beaming. Seems obvious to me now that the defense here seems to be in a little bit of disarray, the Inter Miami defense.
Yeah, well, just like we said with Plantation, can they hold up to the speed of the Jamaican attack? Plantation didn't do very well holding up to that speed yesterday. And you can see in the last couple attacks that Jamaica has really put pressure on them, particularly on the right-hand side of the Jamaican attack.
Yes, and watch the switch on the left side where Matisse can be very, very effective because he's naturally an out-and-out player that can do damage. That's
offside. You can see a lot of the play is actually on the far side of our cameras because Jamaica is attacking mainly on the right-hand side, and Inter Miami's dangerous attacks have come from their left-hand side. So all of the action pretty much on the far side of the field in the early going. Mattis driving forward, trying to switch the play. Davison will do the cleanup and we'll get a throw.
That seemed like the ball was handled.
Yeah, that's what he was arguing about, and I think the referee looks like he will agree. We don't have VAR today, Coach, but I thought it was good communication between the referee and his assistant to get that call correct.
Yes, and that's what you call great officiating, whereas they communicate very well and make things happen.
Oh, that's a wild swing by the Inter Miami player, Converse.
So far, Kerry, I am pleased with both teams and their performance. It makes football, or soccer as we call it here in America, incredible to watch.
Yeah, very big contrast in styles. You see how patient, even at 1-0 down, you see how patient Inter Miami is trying to pass and trying to pull the Jamaicans apart. Jamaicans really disciplined. Here comes Jaheim Johnson. Can he get it under control? Can he curl it to the far post? He goes near post.
Near post and misses.
And I think it was off the goalkeeper. It was a save by the goalkeeper.
Beautiful save from the goalkeeper. Tip your fingers.
Jaheim Johnson, coach, has been a handful so far.
And he doesn't look like that kind of person that will give you that. It's just a stocky young man that if you underestimate his height, you're going to pay the price.
And perhaps he's inspired by the mistake we made crediting his goal to Burkett yesterday. So he's on fire in the final tonight. Looks very dangerous. Long ball by Saka. Trying to find...
Straight to the keeper.
Trying to find Davison, who had pushed up from center back. Remember, he scored a goal yesterday.
Yes, and I think he's trying to work on it again today.
So again, the score is 1-0 to Jamaica. Goal by Romain Blake, a penalty.
Captain Romain Blake.
Right.
Captain Romain Blake puts his team ahead. He handled himself as a captain. And that's what captains do. Take the responsibility.
Yeah, and I think clearly in terms of the penalty, the coaches would have had a plan this time as to who would take it if they got one, and not repeating that same mistake twice.
Goes to Inter Miami one more time.
So I think you're seeing maybe a black screen now, but we'll try to keep you abreast of the action in terms of listening to us as we get that technical issue resolved.
The Inter Miami midfield seems to have lost it, Kerry, and all they're doing now is pulling on the Jamaican player's shirt.
Yeah, the game has changed a bit, coach, from the early moments.
Certainly has, and this is based on number 11 and number 10 in that midfield for Jamaica. They have a brain about the game that's different than any other thing that I've seen. They communicate well, they understand each other very well, and that's a good sign for Jamaica's future in the sport. Great midfield work.
Mattis couldn't quite keep that one under control, so it did go outside for a throw-in to Inter Miami. It'll be thrown by Ty Barton, who's the right back.
It looks pretty decent to me. With less than 10 minutes in the first half, that 1-0 lead seems to be what's going to go in the changing room at the half. Any number can play, but that's what we have right now. Long ball over the top again.
So no, we've been having some technical difficulties where you're not being able to see the screen, so we'll try to keep you as well informed as to what's going on as possible. So this is Crucifixio Thompson, who plays it out to Blake on the right hand side, trying to find Lynch with a long ball. Lynch trying to head it on to Raheem Grizzle. This is a player from York Castle on the right hand side who crossed the ball that caused the penalty. Here he tries to make another cross. So I think Grizzle for sure and Jaheim Johnson are causing a lot of issues for the Inter Miami back line in the last 15 minutes.
Kerry, it comes down to the midfield work. When your forwards are getting so much opportunity, your midfield is working. And that's the engine room.
I think it's a key point in the game right now because Inter Miami, who's under pressure at the moment, do not want to concede a second goal. If they concede a second goal, they may be in trouble here.
And it's a corner kick. It's another set piece. And Blake, is it Blake or is it?
It's Burkett.
Burkett.
Yeah.
Burkett.
Blake has stayed back, so left-footed corner. Oh, it beat everyone there. Cleared off the line essentially by the defender. Here comes Inter Miami on the counter-attack. Number 35, Felipe Valencia, picks up the ball deeper because he plays in attack, but he's picked up the ball in the center of midfield. It was turned over. This is Wilson. Wilson plays to Davidson. Davidson has Jaheim Johnson on the left-hand side. So they're in the attacking third of Inter Miami. He tries to play into Lynch, but that was ill-advised pass. So the video problems will be rectified in short order. So we'll just try to keep you as informed as we can, just based on our voices here. So this is Blake, who picks up the ball in midfield. Plays it over to Burkett. Burkett is looking for a long ball to Lynch. Lynch actually got ahead of the defender there, but tried a shot and missed it. Here's Saka on the left-hand side. Saka over to Mattis. Wilson on the left again. Wilson trying to play a long ball to try to find Burkett, but the ball is out of play for a throw-in.
With 6 minutes going into the second half, 6 minutes away from the end of this half, the second half has to be something different for Inter Miami.
Yeah, because I think the game has most definitely changed. Inter Miami was all over the Jamaican team in the first 10 minutes of the game. And I think you could say that Jamaica is all over Inter Miami at the current moment. Throw for Jamaica, headed out by the Inter Miami defense. This was the ball to go out for a Jamaica throw.
You know, earlier this morning I had a journalist at Kingston College. He says, I've seen this young man play and I've told a lot of people about him, but they don't seem to believe that Mattis has the quality that he has, but he's showing some really good qualities here.
This is the one that goes by the name of Prophet, right?
Sure is a prophet. That's what they say.
So Inter Miami has the ball. They pass back to their goalkeeper. Goalkeeper plays it out to their center back, Keys. Back to their right back, Ty Barton. Back to Keys. He switches the ball over to the other center back. So they're trying to play from side to side, trying to pull the Jamaicans apart. Jamaicans very disciplined. East-west, which is fine from a Jamaican perspective right now.
They're not going direct, so it's not affecting us in that regards.
And so they keep playing among their center backs. Now they play the ball into midfield. Now you see the Jamaicans pressure. Very well drilled Jamaican team here.
The discipline of playing your position is shown by the Jamaicans in this first half.
Keys plays out to his winger Nunez. Nunez, can he get the ball across? Dangerous cross, but well cleared by Blake. Throw in for Inter Miami.
Customary Prophet is not a left defender, so Inter Miami can exploit that coming down this left side.
Still working on the technical difficulties that we have with the video. There's 4 minutes left in the game. Inter Miami is on the attack in their attacking third. Ball is turned over, and then Inter Miami wins it back. So Inter Miami has the ball in midfield, trying to play their nice, tidy combination plays. But again, very good pressure by the Jamaicans who win it back. Doing a very good job of winning the ball back in midfield. The ball is back with the goalkeeper.
Mr. Thompson. Just Fixture Thompson. The goalkeepers in the tournament so far, Kerry, and we've said it before, are doing an awesome job.
Lynch against Keys. Oh, Lynch beats him. Has the ball on the left. Can he keep it in? No, he can't. So really, yes, he's going to call the foul back, because Lynch had the ball on the left-hand side, pushed it past Keys. Keys went to ground, clipped him. Lynch honestly tried to stay on his feet, but couldn't keep the ball in play, and so the referee pulls it back for the original foul.
The Jamaicans are applying a different kind of pressure, Kerry. The Jamaica's team is doing something remarkable to Inter Miami, where they're using that speed to their advantage.
Yeah, and that's the name of the game, because we know it's two very different types of teams in terms of the way they want to play. Inter Miami started so well, and I think Jamaica has really grown into their own, and now putting a lot of pressure on the Inter Miami backline, particularly with Johnson here on the left, and Grizzle on the right, and then those runs from Lynch up front, so posing a great danger to the Inter Miami team. Saka is over the ball.
Kevin Wilson, when he plays for me at Inter Florida, these are what he likes to do, these free kicks right here. He has a special way of getting it to the opposite side of where the keeper is.
Oh, he plays it to Lynch instead. So he plays it over
Mattis.
to Mattis, I'm sorry, yeah. Oh, was that a foul? Oh, another dangerous cross into the Inter Miami box. Just can't make that connection. Yeah, Blake reading that one like a book. This is Burkett, who has pulled out to the left. He's trying to find Lynch with a direct ball. Grizzle trying to pressure.
I think the Jamaicans need to be a little bit more patient with the ball instead of just making this big swing kick. There's only a minute left on the clock, so they should just keep possession until.
Yeah, when they're in those one-on-one positions, how about taking on the wingback? Doesn't look the Usain Bolt of wingbacks, so you know, maybe we can take advantage of that speed from a Jamaican perspective.
Certainly, certainly. I can't agree with you more.
Dangerous attack for Inter Miami. A shot goes off, but over the bar by Joseph Converse.
And that's the sound of the final whistle for the first half. And for the first half, Jamaica 1, Inter Miami 0.
So keep staying tuned to Flexx FM. We're working on the technical difficulties with the video. So it's halftime, Jamaica up 1-0 with a goal by Romain Blake. So hopefully we'll get the video up and running soon, so that you don't have to just depend on the voices of Coach and I, but you can also see the action as well.
We've been doing a pretty good job, Kerry. I've got some good reviews from people saying they like what we do.